piece of shit, Papoose. You really are. You have turned into a piece of shit. The gambling, the failures that you had in your career or whatever that didn't pan out how you wanted to, has turned you into somebody else.
You're very cruel to people because you're a narcissist. She's the type of person who will say something to you, and 10 to 5 minutes later, she'll say, I didn't say that. Straight bipolar. Straight bipolar. Was diagnosed with it. You're not Cardi B, man. Let's keep it a buck. This is how phony you is.
Ladies and gentlemen, the culture has been rocked by Remy Ma's recent emotional collapse after Eazy the Block Captain hit her with the coldest breakup of the decade. The reason for this isn't a man, a scandalous rapper, or even a clout-chasing blogger. Instead, she cheated with a woman who flushed her face. Oh, you thought 2025 would be a relief, but is a whole damn scalding tsunami. We're talking about betrayal, secret love affairs, backroom hookups, a mysterious woman known only as Z, and yes, hidden security cam footage from a plant-based lesbian lounge in Brooklyn. They always say don't meet your heroes, but they don't tell you that you should never sleep with your mentor, your spiritual advisor, or both. Remy Ma recently found herself at the center of the most jaw-dropping, eyebrow-raising, relationship-destroying scandal hip-hop has seen since Offset unintentionally went live in someone else's direct messages. Isn't just drama. It's a genre shift, a complete cinematic reboot of her public image, her love life, her career, and possibly her life. There was Remy Ma, the legend, the lioness, 1/3 rap icon, 1/3 media mogul, and 1/3 don't play with me. I'll actually shoot you. She was the mentor, the boss, the queen maker. But somewhere between the boardroom meetings and the late-night tour bus interviews, something changed abruptly. Interviews went from being strictly professional to being suspiciously flirtatious, and Eazy's eyes lingered too long, and Remy's laughter came too easily. It all begins with Eazy the Block, Captain Battle Rap's poster child, the man who rose from underground underdog to top-tier phenom faster than most rappers can say. And fans watched the tension on Twitter, which turned into CSI. Hip-hop, and on Instagram, the comments looked like full-fledged Reddit threads. People asked how long they'd been doing it, and they said that it was all business. At first, they said that it was easy, but then everything started to fall apart like a Fashion Nova dress on a windy day. The mystery third guest at the dinner in Soho was a tall woman with hair, a nose ring, and sage in her purse. Some claimed that she was a known seduct. By late 2023, there were signs of passive-aggressive tweets, long studio sessions, a birthday that was not shared, and no one wanted to read them. Then, in search of balance, Remy meets Ziana, also known as Z, a spiritual consultant with a client list full of famous actors and bitter influencers. Fans refer to her as a soul whisperer, and they call her the female equivalent of that guy who runs pyramid schemes on Instagram Live in hotel lobbies. What began as chakra cleansing evolved into nightly FaceTimes, tantric yoga sessions, and exclusive two-person sound baths in hotel suites. One insider claims that by January, Remy didn't go anywhere without Z, even scheduling her for a 3-city tour as her energy manager. In the meantime, Eazy was still present in the picture just enough to be useful. They would show up for press runs together, share a few smirks, and give the fans some crumbs. But behind the scenes, the tension was suffocating. One of EEE's battle rap homies spilt the tea anonymously, leading her to believe that the man was the king, but it turned out that he was only a ruse. Then, the moment that changed everything happened when Eazy entered a battle with G.I. Chi Gotti, presumably thinking he was going to commit another lyrical murder, but instead he was ethered, not by bars, but by receipts, screenshots, and rumors. Giotti stood 10 feet tall and said, "What everyone was thinking. You out here creeping with a rapper's wife?" The crowd gasped, and you could feel Remy's soul depart. The battle wasn't just a loss. It was a funeral for Remy's secrets, for Eazy's respect, or for whatever strange power dynamic they were playing out in public. After that night, everything fell apart. Eazy went ghost, pulled out of shows, and removed Remy's name from his bio. According to a close source, he told his manager, "I don't care if she's with a man, woman, or Martian. She played me like a game she already beat." Remy attempted to act composed until she couldn't during a live stream intended to. About Eazy, She paused in the comments, blinked quickly, and then started crying. Not the influencer sniffle cry, but real ones that were diaphragm shaking and deep breathing, and I got caught up in tears. She said, "People think they know what's going on, but they don't know the whole story. I've been hurt too."
Wait, what? You got hurt, ma'am.
You were double dipping in the love triangle fondue, and now you want to be the victim. But it wasn't just Eazy for who felt betrayed. According to a source close to the family, her husband had already been emotionally checked out since he learned about Z months before the blogs did. That's right, this wasn't just infidelity. It wasn't just a girl-on-girl scandal. It was layered betrayal. Then, just when you thought the plot couldn't get any more complicated, a blurry rooftop photo of Remy and Z holding hands in candlelight and wine appeared. You couldn't see their faces, but you could sense the vibe. The fan who posted the photo captioned it, "Someone come get your Annie before she ends up on an episode of For My Man and That, My Friends." This is where it gets serious, because what happened next wasn't just heartbreak and tears, but also financial fraud accusations, leaks, voice notes, a necklace worth more than your mama's rent, a necklace given on a label budget, and rumors of a possible sympathetic investigation into how money was being moved to keep Z living lavishly. And it all begins right here, because in part 2, we're going into the backdoor deals, the leaked direct messages, and a purported healing retreat in Tulum that may have been funded with promotional funds intended for EE's tour. The tea is no longer piping hot, it's criminally scalding. If you thought this was crazy, wait until you hear who else might have known and remain silent. Welcome to the real chaos. You're ready. Now, let's talk about the money. If you thought it was just about feelings and flirtation, think again. According to numerous leaked documents and messages that we obtained from sources, Remy was allegedly moving label funds to support. Let that sink in. According to sources close to Eazy's management, he was unaware of the expense until 2 weeks after the necklace was spotted in one of Z's now-deleted Instagram stories. That Sunday Reset post where she's sipping green juice in a velvet robe with the caption, "Not all queens wear crowns. Some wear power." That chakra reopening moon crystal activating energy healing mystic was living better than half the Billboard Hot 100, and it was all being built under creative consulting. But the streets were on fire, but the comments were turned off, and just when you thought the rumors were over, the burner DMs leaked. We're talking screenshots from a Finina account linked to Ray's email that contained late-night poetry and voice notes purportedly sent to Z with captions like, "I don't want to be fixed. I just want to be seen, and you see me, ma'am. You're married to Papoose, the man who held you down through a bid, a baby, and a damn BET Awards tribute." The betrayal wasn't. Legal issue, because this is where it gets ugly. After rumors of budget mismanagement surfaced on blogs, anonymous sources from Remy's own labels began speaking, and some of them claimed that it turned the tea into straight petrol. According to one insider, money intended for E's block pressure was mysteriously diverted to cover what they called wellness expenses, which included a 4-day healing retreat in Tulum, custom crystal-infused candles, a silk meditation tent, and a matching set of rose. One of his longtime associates suggested that Pap might be creating receipts of his own screenshots and photos, including surveillance footage from their home studio that purports to show Z arriving and departing at times that would raise suspicions in one clip that is rumored to exist, but hasn't surfaced yet. Contacted emails have been removed, and the simple fact is that he is fully cooperating. You can be sure Papoose isn't sitting quietly through this. Until around 6 in the morning. Unless you include the type of groaning that doesn't require auto-tune, they weren't even mic'd up or recording a track, is when things start to get really weird. But now that the floodgates are open, everything is coming out. Bloggers are zooming in on old posts, fans are searching through interviews, and one even found a 2024 podcast where Z talks about falling in love with a woman who wasn't sure if she was ready to choose peace over power. Sounds familiar? The real kicker is that Z allegedly signed an NDA, yes, a non-disclosure agreement created by Ray's own legal team. Sinisterly, remember that private rooftop moment that leaked in part 1 with the candlelight and the hand-holding? Since that NDA expired in May 2025 this month, Z has been posting a little more boldly and cryptically. One tweet in particular has people going crazy. Is she talking about herself or Remy? and the complete mess this whole scandal has become. No one knows, but the quote received 800K views in less than 12 hours and even started a trend on TikTok called #ChaoticCurls, where users reenact toxic entanglements in spiritual settings because, of course, it did. Welcome to the internet. Meanwhile, the battle rap world is watching like it's pay-per-view, and one of his rivals posted a diss track called Blocked by Love. The hook gave you the keys to the castle and dipped with the gardener. Brutal. But Eazy's response was radio silence. He deleted all references to Remy from his platforms, unfollowed the label, unfollowed her, and even untagged old photos. One close friend claims that he's in his healing era, which in rap terms means he's planning a savage comeback that will make Ether sound like a love song. However, what's really got the streets buzzing are rumors that Eazy might be preparing a tell-all of his own, whether it's a battle, a podcast, or a direct interview with The Breakfast Club. No one knows, but one insider claims that if he talks, the entire game shifts. There are things he knows that even Remy forgot. This mentor-protege flirtation has now escalated into a full-blown media scandal, complete with emotional trauma, broken marriages, financial audits, and a suspiciously adaptable healer at its core. However, guess what? It's not over yet, because in part 3 we're digging into the fallout, PR cover-ups, brand deals being pulled, quiet calls to networks, the fact that Remy hasn't posted in over a week, the rumors that Papoose might be filing separation papers, and most shocking of all, the rumors that Z might be signing her own deal with a rival label. An A&R representative contacted Z after her Chaos Curls tweet went viral, offering her a creative partnership that includes a podcast, an empowerment tour, and, wait for it, an energy-themed R&B EP called Moon in Scorpio. Just when we thought the mess had reached its limit, Z, the poetic, incense-burning, astrological tweeting root cause of all this drama, is allegedly being courted by a rival label, not just any label, either. Word on the blog streets. This isn't a scandal anymore, people. The same woman who said, "I'll smack a chick today and then again tomorrow," is currently hiding from the public as if she just lost Rizzu's battle to karma. She hasn't posted any stories, tweets, or even burner-like silence, and when a woman like Remy Ma goes silent, that's not peace. It's a pressure cooker because behind the scenes, it's not just Twitter roasting her. Her own team is collapsing, brand partners are quietly pulling out, and a sponsorship with a beauty brand was reportedly paused indefinitely that day. After leaked direct messages suggested that she might have used her touring company's card to reserve a lavish suite in Paris in Z's name, the rabbit hole goes global. Apparently, during Fashion Week in February, Remy was in Paris for a brand shoot, but leaked concierge emails reveal that a second guest was registered under the pseudonym Saw Evers, which coincidentally happens to be the same alias she used on her previous YouTube Reiki tutorials. Nope, just more lies wrapped in designer robes. And let's not forget about Papoose, the man who held her down for years, through jail, career pauses, and a public miscarriage. Now, insiders close to Pap claim that he's spiritually divorced and is only remaining legally married to safeguard their joint assets until the dust settles. According to one friend, he has been living in Atlanta for the past month, secretly purchasing real estate, meeting with producers, and working on a solo album. Oh, and the title Unfollowed is giving you major bed. While we're talking about fallout, a few battle rap leagues are now reevaluating their collaborations with Eazy because of the backlash from Remy's devoted fanbase. You know, the ones who are still posting arrogant quotes in Instagram comments and writing "Free Remy" on walls as if it were 2008. They're angry, calling Eazy a snake, saying he bit the hand that fed him. Others are actively supporting him, saying he was used as a pawn, a decoy, a boy toy with bars, and it's a literal gender war waged through TikTok duets and subtweets. One fan uploaded a video called "Why Eazy Was the Real Victim," which included voiceovers from Ray's previous interviews, slideshow receipts, and depressing R&B music. The clip hit 1.4 million views in a single day, but wait, it gets worse. Someone broke into Z's private wellness group on Telegram and released several client endorsements purportedly endorsing her connection-based healing translation. Wealthy and well-known women writing letters that sound far more like love confessions than therapy feedback, including one purportedly from a female rapper whose name rhymes with You didn't just help me heal. You helped me feel alive again, and I'll never forget what your hands did to my heart, Balanda said. What your hands did at an all-time high. One YouTuber even claimed that Z has 7 NDAs circulating in the entertainment industry and that Remy's may be the only one that was violated. Now, there are rumors of lawsuits. Remy's label team allegedly met with legal counsel to discuss restoring her public image and potential slander suits against former employees who have been speaking to the media. One assistant who was fired last week told a podcast, "The vibe was off. She was smiling differently. You don't smile like that unless somebody's rubbing sage on." The public opinion has spoken, and baby, it isn't pretty. Papoose is honestly glowing up, quietly rebranding, capitalizing, monetizing, and ascending, while Remy is posting nothing, saying anything possibly, lawyering up, and praying the next time. This is a brand meltdown, a full cultural implosion, and the worst part is that it didn't need to go this far. It began as a flirtation, turned into obsession, grew into betrayal, and now it's collapsing like a Jenga tower built on Instagram Lev's burner accounts. And the final twist is that some fans now think this was all planned. There is a growing theory that this was a long-term PR stunt gone wrong, that the affair was planted to create buzz, that the heartbreak was scripted, and that even the leaks were controlled chaos designed to get Eazy and Z on the map. If this is true, it could be the most brilliant disaster since Kris Jenner turned a sex tape into an empire. But if not, we've just witnessed the very real, unfiltered collapse of one of hip-hop's most iconic women. In any case, we clicked, shared, and dissected, and we couldn't take our eyes off the screen because this wasn't just gossip, it was cultural whiplash, the kind of story that reminds you that in the age of clout, nothing is sacred, not love, loyalty, or even legacy. So, the real question is, was Remy Ma a victim of temptation or her own ego? Did Eazy, the block captain, get played, or was he always just another chess piece? And C, is she the villain, the healer, or the quiet puppet master of an entire industry scandal? Before you log out, ask yourself, if Remy can fall, who's next? If your jaw is still on the floor, hit the like button. If you're still on the floor, subscribe for more chaos, breakdowns, and MO. Juiciest and most spiritually deranged love triangles in hip-hop history. But now that the microphone is in your hands, tell us which team you're supporting. Team Z the Zen Destroyer or Team Remy Team Eazy. And if this video made you clutch your phone like it was the last pack of lace front glue on earth, smash that button hard. Oh, and don't forget to hit. Was Remy Ma just living her truth or living a lie that she couldn't handle anymore? Or was Eazy the block captain playing the long game and just fumbled the bag without any backup plan? We're here for the drama. So turn on post notifications or risk missing the next relationship apocalypse because if Papoose releases that disc album, we'll cover it first. Subscribe because, baby, this is just the tip of the toxic iceberg. You already know that there are more scandals, receipts, chaos, and weekly on-time, unfiltered content coming. Your algorithm's savior.